Hi guys and girls, welcome back to part 3 of this handling equipment and hacks. Just a gentle reminder, this is not an online handling course. Do not think you can watch this and you are now fully fledged snake catcher. A handling course should have a whole section of intense one-on-one supervision as you learn to deal with venomous snakes. It's not something you're going to just learn on the internet. It takes a lot of explanation, it takes a lot of questions, a lot of corrections, and only then can you qualify for a certificate. You guys are going to have fun with this last section. There's a lot of nice interesting stuff here that could save your fingers. See you guys. Right, so we're going to move on to the practical demonstration of the extractor. I'm going to take the forest cobra out of here using that. The GoPro is running inside the obstacle, and Helen's going to be filming on my phone from outside. So we'll give a good idea of how this thing works. Right, you running? Put this little hook to the test to the forest cobra and just see how it works. Right. Oopsie. Not a great success. You see, if the hook was in that position, or even then. Oopsie. Oopsie. The snake is just simply not staying in this hook. It just keeps sliding out. Let's see. Excuse me, Mr. Snake. Whoopsie. Okay, clearly that's not a great thing. This one just defies logic on a snake this size. It would probably get up here just as easily should it choose to. Now, just by the size of this, I don't feel rather secure. Let's just see. Yeah. Not often I get jumpy with cobras, but I've got to tell you, I'm a little nervous. And I'm keeping the end of this hook rather low. Wait. Yeah. Okay, let's extend this one a bit.
Watch the head. Oh no, it's going to go into that gap. Or try and go into the gap.
Okay, this is more like it. And let's see. Excuse me, Mr. Forest Cobra. Now, this one would still work for a while, but I wouldn't like to have a much bigger snake than this in this hook. And again, as long as he's going down, it's cool. Yeah, but yeah, I must admit, this hook would work, but I'm way more comfortable using my own. Alright, so here we are, and just for the purpose of the camera, I'm actually going to hold the snake like this. I'm going to stick that on the ground like that and show you how comfortably the snake rests in this hook on the vertical. Quite comfortable. What a gorgeous animal, eh?
Male or female?
It's a male.
How long is he?
1.3.
Okay.
I sprayed him, but I see the ticks haven't come off him. Have a whole lot of ticks in him. So there we are, on the vertical. Right, let's.
You need me to set up the. Oh no. Okay.
Oh, this looks quite good, eh? It's not bad like that. But I don't know if I trust that with a mamba in there. Right, tongs. Now remember that I said tongs are designed for restraining and then necking. And I'm not a great fan of using tongs to hold snakes like this and so on. Look, to everybody their own. If you're happy doing that, that's awesome, you go for it. But in my capacity, no, I don't want to do that. I find that as soon as you clamp snakes with tongs, they become unresponsive and they don't really want to do what you want them to do. So we'll just do a bit of a demonstration of that. And I'm going to again pull this little forest cobra out of here.
His head's by your hands, just under the plank.
Yeah. So now I've found that if I've got the snake in a tong like this, it's highly unlikely I'm going to get him to go into that tube or into that box. They generally don't want to go forward in that sort of situation, and hooks actually work a lot better for that, because when the snake is on the hook, he doesn't quite feel as restrained as what he does with the tongue. And so the long and the short of that is that the snake is more cooperative on the hook than he is with the tongue. But something I very rarely do, and that is use tongs on cobras. I find that the heads are very short and they're very powerful, and it's not easy to get them there. So now I've necked the snake.
Can I do a bit of a close-up on the necking? See?
You can see it there.
Yeah, that's good.
Alright. And you can see the sport of these 3 fingers over there. And you can see that my grip is sufficient. You see I was trying to turn to get to my finger, but I'm not allowing him to turn there, and I'm maintaining the control with those 3 fingers as support. Now if I had the snake and I try to put it in there, it's not going to go there. The minute I let go of the hook, it's going to reverse out. Okay, and if I put him in the bin like that, the first thing he's going to do is going to go places. And once you've got a snake behind the head, it again becomes a bit of a pineapple as to what do you do, because the risky time comes when you actually release here. This snake could turn very rapidly and bite the hand that's holding it. And so there's a number of release techniques that I've seen guys use. They talk about the hold and swing, so they hold the snake like that, they let go here and they hope it's going to swing away from them. But a swinging snake is a pendulum, and they sometimes come back a lot faster than they went out. And so not a great technique. Then there's the toss it away snake, or toss away the snake technique, which I'm really not a great fan of, because you're now tossing the snake into unknown space, and it could suffer whiplash, it could impale itself on some sharp unseen object, or whatever the case might be. And so for the sake of the snake, that's not a safe process. The tube, like I used for the bagging, is a great release mechanism. If you follow our YouTube channel, you will see I use it on snakes that we're putting back into enclosures, mambas in particular. After measuring, then we find that there's a need to release a head at some point, and nobody wants to release a head and find a mamba turned around and got onto your finger. Not a great thing. So once again, the simple process: I've got a longer lip at the bottom, it's tapered, I push the jaw shut, there it goes in, it slides in. Because I've still got control here, I can now slide it forward. You can see the snake through the hole. In fact, if you looked in there, you could see the snake in there. He's right in front. Now he can't turn and do anything to me. Okay, so at this point, I can actually drop him into a bag if I wanted to. It's not what I would do. I would do it exactly how I demonstrated it the first time. I could see if the snake would want to reverse into a container like this by himself, because sometimes they do. So you just offer him the opportunity, and he reverses in, and he's going in, going in, going in, and it's now safe for me to just do that, and the snake is in. So that's one way of doing it, guys. I could of course have just dropped it into the box using the same method, or releasing into a cage, tongue on the tube, putting the body of the snake in, tongs holding the body of the tube, and close as the tube comes off, and so on. So there's those variations as well. Guys and girls, that's the practical side of things right now. Next clip is going to be something a lot more interesting. We're going to deal with a few other aspects, and hope you guys are going to join us for that as well. I'm sure you're going to find it beneficial. So until next time, stay safe, remember which is the sharp end. Cheers now.